All right, everybody got the November minutes from last month's meeting, and I apologize for being a little late on the uptake to get this out. Thank you for Corey for keeping up on me. I just got into the office yesterday after digging out. Sure, we're all kind of in the same situation. So I should have, if I was in the office Monday, I would have actually been up on top of it. It was on my list, but I was working from home, and that was a whole other situation, not having everything that you needed. So we did send out the November minutes. Any questions on those? Can we approve those? Everything was good?
Approved.
Okay.
You mean January?
Yes, January.
November, January, you know.
It's
It's all
It all
running
runs
together.
We Coke.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
For the last freaking year.
And today's Thursday. Just in case anybody missed the memo. So, all right. So
We're approving the January
we're
and
approving the
November, or-
January minutes
Okay.
that were sent out last month. Any questions on those? All right.
No.
And we're approving those?
Approved.
Motion approved, good. Off and running.
Yeah, John, on my agenda, I just say approved minutes. I never try to put the month in so that we don't have to change it every
Oh,
time.
you know, I see what you did.
Oh, wow. You cheater.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I used to. I have a template, and apparently I forgot to put January. Hey, look, I got the thing at the top right. I was turning and burning yesterday, so. All right, yeah. So the November minutes were approved, and now the January minutes are approved.
It's all that bourbon you had while you were shoveling.
Yeah.
Stay warm.
When I got done shoveling, my arm couldn't lift a bourbon. they're still a little dead. Yeah, that was a snap purchase on Monday. After I got done doing my car, I immediately bought a snowblower. That's the end of that.
Well, great. Now it's not going to snow anymore. Thanks a lot, Don.
I'm okay with that. So, and yeah. Once I got done that, I said I'm never doing this again, because even the December snow was a little heavy to dig out from. So, and that wasn't all that bad of a snow. So I didn't have to deal with the car then, but it was still bad enough. Corey, I know you sent them out. I know I didn't send mine back, but have we been getting membership apps back just so that we can update the website and everything, even though we're not charging?
Yeah, they're slowly coming in.
All right, so just a reminder, and especially to me, that hang on, let me put that fill out membership app for me and get that over, just so we can get the website updated with email addresses and contacts and everything else. Maybe resend that out just as a reminder. I know I have mine because I never delete emails.
Yeah, I can resend it out.
All right, good deal. And just an update, Karen Hassett and I from Clarify, we recorded the first of our, what I'm calling partner spotlights. I'm in the process of editing that now. We started out with about 24 minutes of content. And I think the way I'm editing it right now, I have it broken down where I can actually probably get 2 sessions out of this. One is on specifically credit, and then the other one is on real estate. I'm going to hold off on the real estate stuff, if only because I want to leave that open to our real estate agents who would like to jump in and do that session. The credit is more, when you see it, you'll kind of understand where we were going with this. So I've kind of got it split out into 2 with, I didn't do much editing on the real estate side. I've got 10 minutes probably on the credit side. And right now I'm kind of putting in graphics and things, and I'm going to give it a run. I should probably going to get a chance to deal with that, take a look at it again today and tomorrow. And then by next week, I'm hoping to send Karen a copy for her to take a look at and approve. Make sure we got everything straight and how we got things separated out. And then hopefully at some point next week, I'm going to be able to put it up on the Facebook page and or the YouTube page as well. I think that's where I'm going to start it. I'm going to upload it to YouTube, but then transfer the link so we can keep the analytics on the YouTube page. And then you're going to kind of get a sense of what it is, and probably more important, what it isn't. I mean, it can be as organized as you'd like it to be, but it was kind of really a free-form chat. And we kind of went all over the place, and we delved into credit, into real estate, back into credit. And I have the ability to kind of cut those segments down and put it into something that's a little bit more concise and all credit and all real estate. But when you see it, hopefully you'll get the idea of what we're trying to get across, and it won't be as scary of a thing. It's literally just having a conversation, and you sharing your expertise and me trying to be a dummy and just ask really smart questions. So what Karen did is she sent me an email with questions and topics so that I could kind of stay on task and feed her. And I'm just kind of the straight man. And she's,
And it was fun, John.
Yeah, it was. We had a good time.
Yeah.
So
I'll take any interaction in this COVID world.
Phones ringing in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Crazy.
But it was, hopefully you'll get a really good sense. So start thinking about that and say, hey, look, I want to do one. If we keep going, then I'm going to keep posting what I have. I think, first of all, this would be one, it's great because it allows us to keep educating folks. But I think it's also, if we put it up on the page and we share it to our personal pages and things, I think for those of us that are not in nonprofit, it kind of helps our business.
Mm-hmm.
Anything at this stage that kind of keeps us in front. So it's got your name, your information on it. You'll see with Clarify, our logo, Mcpho's logo's on it, Clarify's logo's on it. So dual branding and making sure that that's all, it's all the way it should be. So you all get the credit for the information. So, keep that in mind. Like I said, when you see it next week, hopefully you'll get an idea that's really not anything any more major than talking about what you already do. So, as we would if we were standing with somebody at the fair. Yep. So, I
John,
really
maybe can you set up something maybe with Carolyn to talk about like what the market's like for people trying to buy right now?
Yeah, Carol, just shoot me, because actually Karen and I got into that a little bit. And that's why I kind of kept that off on the back burner. If we don't get
I
somebody,
have it in my notes.
Yeah, if we don't get,
update you.
yeah, what the market is now, what's happening, the bidding wars that are going on. Karen and I got into, we just had a free form conversation and we ended up there. But if it's somebody from a real estate standpoint, I want to leave that for something that's more of a home base for you folks. So.
I just think that's a really important topic right now because people are going to overspend and waive inspections and do stuff that they're going to regret.
Yep.
Really, it's their choice, but they really should know what they're giving up when they decide to do those things.
Karen and I talked about that too. So like I said, that content's there. I want to hold it off for one of our real estate agents. And we got a little bit into some mortgage stuff. I'm going to leave that for the mortgage folks. I want to try and keep things into a home base. But I have the content if we're not going to jump in on this. So
All right, I'll send you an email. When we're done.
Good deal. So, and if we do this once a month, or we'll see how that runs. And getting that edited out. Some things take a little bit longer than others. But let's get it up. We can do it once a month or once every 2 weeks. But shoot me an email, and we'll just schedule a time from our offices and everything here, and we'll press play and off we go. So.
And the other thing I think we should talk about, and Jerome, maybe you could touch base with John on doing something like this, is how interest rates are not just advertised they're advertised, but they're not, how can I say this, not real until they actually go through your whole process. Because it seems like everybody is doing an individualized interest rate based on your personal income, your personal debt, your personal so forth. It's not like everybody's getting a 2.5% interest rate. So, that's something that I think consumers really need to know about also. And that's, I think it's very important. What do you think, Jerome?
Completely agree. Yeah. The number one question I get every day, what's the rate? And the answer is, like most things, it depends. What's the loan amount? What's the value? What's the property type? What's your credit score? How long you're going to lock the rate? What's the loan purpose? So,
Even-
you're right
even
on.
the-
I mean, obviously, people, rates are incredibly low.
Even people with not perfect credit are still floating in the fives, like crazy. And they're complaining about it.
Yeah, I mean, I had a guy yesterday that he was looking for an investment loan, a non-owner occupied. And I said to him, they're a little bit higher than the owner occupied. He says, so what are we talking about? I said, oh, I don't know, in the threes. Oh my God, that high? I'm thinking to myself, you have no idea. So you're absolutely right. Like everything, it depends.
And it's a scary situation for a lot of people going in for the first time because they don't understand what it was like back in the 80s when my interest rate was 14.5%. So they have no clue what 2% or 3% means value wise and what it means on a what a buying rate you have at that percentage. It's crazy.
Again, there's charts that go like, this is where our rates should be, yet here they still are.
Right.
So shut your mouth and take the 3%.
Yeah.
Yeah, for an investment property, like there's not the cost of doing business somewhere. I get into it with folks all the time. It's like, well, why is it so much higher than my homeowner's policy? Well, because you're not living in it. It's a higher risk. I mean,
Right.
everything's different. And it's the same thing there. So,
Right.
that's just kind of the way it rolls. All right. So that, Carolyn.
John, a real quick question.
Yeah.
Should people be looking when they're setting up their home offices now, like absolutely never planning on going back, and they have more equipment, so to speak? Should they be looking at their homeowner's policy again? Because, you're talking about maybe $20,000 worth of equipment coming home.
Yeah. So it kind of sort of depends. And it's, in some cases, it's more of an accountant issue than it is an insurance issue. So, there's a lot more people. It really depends upon what you are calling business property. If you're working from home, what do you have from a personal property standpoint that you wouldn't already have if you weren't working from home?
Me, nothing, but I know a lot of people who
right
put offices down and.
I finally moved up to the third floor, which luckily I did for Monday and Tuesday because I was able to work from there because my wife's got my home office. But essentially, it's just all the same things. Now, here's where you do have to take a look at it. You don't necessarily have to increase your personal property, but on every homeowner's policy, there is a category of 13 things that are limited. In fact, hang on here because I was doing a policy review with a client via Zoom, and tell me I deleted it.
You deleted it. You did.
No, here it is. Hang on. Let me share the screen real quick.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Bear with me. I got to pull it up so I can see it. And so this is on every homeowner's policy. And largely this is, just give you a little bit of an education. Everybody kind of looks at the deck page. Deck page is a total loss scenario. That's if there was a fire and everything got wiped out.
Right.
9 times out of 10, we're dealing with the smaller internal loss or something, or personal property. Now let's see. There it is. Okay. So let me blow this up here a bit. So if you look here on this left-hand side, this is a limit on every single policy. It's just a matter of how much. With the products that we write for farmers, I actually can pick one of these columns. So I have the ability to kind of customize this. But just to give you an idea, you have business property other than electronic data processing. So that would be if you're in sales and you've got inventory or samples in your house, that's what you have to take a look at. It's covered, but it's covered at a limit. If you increased fax machine, more computers, whatever it is that you did equipment into your house, then you're going to look at this electronic data processing, which is essentially a very big word for saying your computer stuff. And so depending upon your policy, you're going to be limited somewhere in between here. And it doesn't matter if it's for business or if it's not for business. it's limited. So that's where you want to kind of take a look and see whether or not your current policy has enough coverage. The reason why in this right-hand side, when I first started with Farmers, every single policy came with this right-hand column. Now, almost everybody, XYZ insurance company, everybody's kind of here or here. So the coverages have been restricted. So what I was doing yesterday with the client, they have the policy that has this coverage. I'm looking at rewriting them to save them about $400. It's a brand new homeowner's policy. It's still Farmers, but they're going to end up in this column. So that's where, the premium is going to be less, but there's a reason why it's less.
Right.
And it's usually here because their dwelling coverage in the quote that I did, their dwelling coverage was higher by almost $60,000. So that's where you need to take a look. If you are working from home, if you have Apple products, I would strongly suggest you take a look at that because my computer might run me $500 to $700. But if you got an Apple product in the house, then you're over $1,000.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's above whatever your deductible is. So, take a look at both of those things. But that's what you're looking at from a standpoint of what you should do if you are working from home and that's going to be a permanent situation.
Now, this is probably an offshoot of that kind of a question, but do people take, a tax break for using their home as an office now? Is that more common?
So here's what I was told when I thought about this a while ago. I talked to my accountant and he said, here's the problem with that. Yes, you can do that. You can measure the square footage of whatever room that you're using. But when you go to sell your property, now all of a sudden it becomes a problem. So it may not, the tax write, what he explained it to me is the tax write-off may not be worth the hassle of if you ever went to sell your home, because now there's this whatever tax situation that gets involved. So could you? Yes. What are the long-term ramifications? That's what he kind of talked me out of. Because I did ask him that question. I'm like, look, I have this home office. It's not big. If I claim that, and he said, well, look, you can do that. He says, but at the end of the day, it becomes more of a problem if you ever try and sell the house. 30 some odd years, I still can't get out of the house. I'm pretty sure I'm not selling, but still.
30 years, you've gotten one of my mailers then. Anybody in their house more than 25, you probably got my mailer.
Well, here's the problem. I'm now doing pandemic projects. So I'm painting my kitchen. I've been spackling my bathroom. I'm pretty sure I'm stuck there.
That's why Home Depot stocks are flying off the shelf.
My Home Depot card is maxed, and I haven't even bought the paint yet. That's pretty much. But then again, my mortgage, what I paid for the home and everything else. If I end up buying a smaller house and everything else, well, I'm going to end up being cash poor or house poor, and I've got the trailer down the shore, and it's not killing me on both sides. So, anything else?
The only thing that I had is that, we at the last meeting said we're not doing a fair in April, obviously. But I wasn't clear on whether we decided whether we wanted to do something like a webinar in the fall. What were people thinking about? Did they want to try to put something on?
Yes, I think so. Because who knows what the market's going to be, but it's still a crazy market. And people, I think, webinars are not crazy to do from home.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's just a matter of kind of thinking how we do it. Do we do it like this? Or do we do it literally scheduling a workshop and doing it like this, and we can obviously videotape it and work from there, and then it's just a matter of the interaction. How do we do that? And that might be something we need to kind of think of. Let me ask you this, and I don't know what the cost would be, but if it made sense to hire, I'm going to say a social media guy, but I'm thinking more somebody that's used to kind of producing these types of events that we can do virtually.
I got a guy. He's like my new coach on
Okay.
that stuff. And he's taught me how to pixel people. He's taught me how to run Facebook Live webinars and whatnot. So if we have specifics, I don't think we need to hire anybody. I can go directly to
Okay.
him.
So here would be my question. Go ahead.
And I didn't want to like plan it. I just want to, like, if people want to do it, then we need to start figuring those things out. Like, what would we want to do? How would we want to do it? We don't have to really, if we're doing it in September or October, we don't really need to nail everything down until
Right.
late summer or early September if we're doing October. But we do need to do that research about what we want to do, what topics, who would be the speakers. So if people are interested, then that's something we should be working on top of your videos. Or we could take the year off.
No, I don't want to take the year off. I feel like I've already taken the year off in so many different ways.
Jump in. What's everybody feel on that?
I think it's a good idea.
Everybody's saying yes. Everybody's
I
saying
think it's a good
yes.
idea.
Okay. All right. So here will be my question specific, Carolyn, to your guide.
Okay.
Because if it was just one-on-one stuff or Facebook Live stuff, that's a piece of cake. But if we're looking at more of a, like, we can do that. That's really kind of easy. But if we did something, hang on one second, I got somebody at my door. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. You have to open it, like the Amazon guy just leaves your stuff right at your front door, John. Who
Yeah,
else
so,
is knocking at your
there are
door?
different programs on how to do these webinars. There's lots of stuff out there now. Because
Yeah,
lots of people are doing it. We have a Zoom account that can do 100 people. I know other people have ones that can do 300 people.
My thought is maybe, like we could do virtual, but maybe if we're all 6 feet apart in a mask and we each just take a spot when we're up, then I think that saves some of the headache of it. That's my thought. Kind of like I'm in the grocery store, you're over there, I'm here, and then everybody just takes a spot. So we're all in a central location, if that makes sense.
Yes. So I think we're going to know a lot more about where we are by the fall. And so maybe some of the restrictions that we would do if it was today, we won't have to do in the fall.
Right, that's true.
If people are just interested, I really, really want to look at formats and topics and what people would want over the next couple months.
Yeah, we can get creative for our title, like, turn the V in COVID into a house or something, how to buy a house, our new word.
Poor Dorothy.
I know. She's so quarantined.
Put a syringe in Dorothy's arm. She's been vaccinated.
She has a mask. She has a mask.
There you go.
That mask.
Good. So what I was trying to, my water's getting turned off because they're doing work out here. So that was my.
Oh, okay. I thought it was an Amazon.
No, it wasn't the Amazon guy. But I guess what I'm looking for is if we were.
John, you got to pay your water bill, buddy.
No. Bridgeport has been dug up for 2 years.
Spending his money at Home Depot.
That's what it is. It's the Home Depot card. It's all going there. But if we did like a virtual forum type of thing, that's what are the technical capabilities? What do we have to look at there? You asked your guy. I'm going to ask the guy that I'm thinking of, and see what because the one-on-one's easy. We can do it just like this. Just a matter of setting up time, and then promoting it to get people to log in. But if we could do something from a forum type of thing where we could have, I know through Zoom, there are breakout rooms and everything that can be used. I didn't realize that. I got a pretty good education when I was going through my MLO safe classes, and there were breakout rooms. So there's a bunch of capability just in this that I'm not really familiar with, but I know it can be done. Like we could break out to if somebody wanted to go to a mortgage thing or just talk to our mortgage folks and break out the room. So, let's start those discussions and see what
When we do it, I know how to pixel everyone. So if they watch 15 seconds of us, whatever we put out there, they're going to see it for the next 90 days. So that's good to know when we're actually ready to do our fair.
Okay. Good to
Just saying, that's my proudest thing.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I'd like to do something, you're so caught to the weather in the fall. You know, we could we could rent a tent or something like that, but it's still going to be under a tent. It's still going to be outside, and if it rains, and you know, I think you end up putting you put out money and pray at that point that you're going to have a good weather day.
Well, there's plenty of places that have like the big pavilions that
Oh, yeah.
we wouldn't really need a tent, right?
Right. Right, but those are, you know, those involve rent too.
Yeah, we've been very successful with our online classes and the virtual classes, and people that would not be able to travel can go and listen for an hour or two. So I think that we can reach a really great audience by doing it virtual, and it solves all those questions for this year.
Yep.
And then we can talk about next spring.
Mm-hmm.
Carolyn, Conrad has a question for you.
Hey, Carolyn. Hi,
Hey.
good morning, Conrad.
What's going on, Conrad?
Hey, I got a question for you. What do you, I don't know this term, pixel people. What are you talking about?
Okay, so if you've ever like stopped when you're scrolling, I know you don't scroll though, Conrad, so you don't have to worry about being pixel. But like, let's say I'm scrolling something on Facebook or Instagram and it's speaking to me and it's like, oh, hey, Mickey Mouse. And I like sit on that screen for 15 seconds. Anything that person posts for the next 90 days is going to be on my screen, whether I want it there or not. So don't stop scrolling if you don't want to be bothered, because any ad can do that to you.
And this is on Facebook?
Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Ta-da! The
Okay.
person who can't even like figure out most things.
Mostly what they're saying, what you're saying is they troll you. Once you look at their product, you're on their list to come back up
Yeah.
as a pop-up all the time.
I've had people come at me and go like, I'm not selling my house. And I'm like, well, you need to talk to Mark Zuckerberg because I don't know how to get you out of my pixel. You don't have to be a jerk, but okay.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people do see it and do comment and ask questions. So, and it's not on my page. So as the ad goes, it's not on my page where people direct it to me. So it's fun. Just say.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
I think.
So it's Zuckerberg's fault.
Yeah, pretty much. Go with that.
So Carolyn's going to be teaching a tech class. We'll get that signed up for everybody.
Listen, that's the only thing that I can teach you how to pixel people.
She still can't change.
It is such a huge pain in the ass, but once you get it, magic. Just
There you
saying.
go. She still can't change the clock on her VCR, but she's got this now down.
VCR, what? I got Hulu now, John. I don't need no VCR.
Carolyn, you and I need to talk after this meeting.
Why, your kids can be pixeling people for their businesses. They could.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, because look, at the end of the day, if you need anything tech-wise, you talk to your kids. So,
I've got a 10-month-old granddaughter who is doing this to the phone already.
there you go. She's going to be FaceTiming you.
My grandson, I want to get him his own phone so he can talk to me wherever he's at. He can just FaceTime me. When I switch my phone plan, I'm going to get him one.
All right. Anybody got anything else?
I'll follow up with you, John, as soon as we're done this.
All right. We'll schedule a time. Not
Okay.
this week.
Not
So.
this week.
Not this week. So, anybody got anything else?
Meeting in March, the next meeting?
March? Yeah. First week, and this time I'll be a little bit ahead again. Hopefully it won't. Well, the snowblower's coming. It's not going to snow. There's not a chance I'm going to use that. Exactly. Which is why I bought battery operated. So, all right. Anybody got anything else? If not, we will call it a day.
Good.
All right.
Sounds good.
I'm taking
Thank
that
you
as an
all.
adjournment. All right. Good to see you all. Hope
Thank you.
everybody's staying safe, and we'll catch each other next month and
Okay.
hang in.
Stay warm, cough free, fever free.
There you
Peace
go.
out.
Get your vaccines.
That's a
Bye,
good-
everybody.
Talk to you.